Well, poll after poll shows that the economy and inflation remain key issues for voters heading into 2024.
Joe Dana talked to voters here, and those same issues are really important to them, but they aren't necessarily tied to one party.
Arizonans like Tasha and Kenneth Needham are paying more for food, gas, and rent since the pandemic.
We are trying so hard to get our lives in order, and it just feels like every time we get beat down and the government doesn't care. Nobody cares about us.
The Needhams are liberal on social issues, but aren't satisfied with the Biden administration's handling of the economy. They are both looking for higher-paying jobs to keep up with expenses.
When you're trying to apply and you apply to 30 jobs and nobody's called you back, it gets you down.
How Democrats and Republicans address concerns of families like the Needhams could go a long way to deciding who wins the White House and other key races next year. Expect Democrats to continue touting two legislative victories: last year's CHIPS Act, designed to stimulate the economy with high-tech jobs, and the Inflation Reduction Act, which lowers prescription drug prices and invests in clean energy. There are signs of improvement. Unemployment is at historic lows, and inflation is down more than half compared to a year ago. But slowing inflation does not equal a drop in prices. Staples like eggs, meat, and dairy remain higher than 2 years ago and aren't likely to ever go back down to where they were. Those higher prices motivate the Needhams to travel across town to a bargain grocer to feed their family of four.
Thank God for this place, because it really does help us on our grocery bill.
Republicans supporting President Trump as their next nominee propose repealing pieces of the Inflation Reduction Act. Trump also wants to implement a 10% tariff on all imports into the U.S. as a way to boost domestic production.
That's what the country needs right now. They need leadership.
Mesa voter Tyrone Lofton says if he were to vote today, he would put his trust back in Trump.
I would say the track record of Trump, I think he obviously has proven his success with business and things like that.
Definitely not Trump.
Mesa voter Marty Gump is leaning Biden. She's willing to be patient through tough economic times for a longer goal. The former president's encouragement of January 6th and his refusal to accept losing an election no doubt worries many voters. Marty says Trump, more than anyone, has polarized America.
He's the one I blame.
Other voters struggling financially say the economy is not the only issue. Jolana and her mom Dolores want more investments on homelessness and drug rehab, normally Democratic positions. But they also say the U.S. is spending too much on Ukraine, a position taken by many Republicans.
I mean, of course, we have to look at other countries, but we have a lot of issues here.
Noah Ford opposes more restrictions to gun ownership.
People have the right to protect their home.
But supports a woman's right to have an abortion, a key issue for Democrats.
I do feel like women get the right to choose that. You know what I mean? That's their choice, it's their bodies.
How voters balance social values with their pocketbook could determine which way they go next year. As for the Needhams, they feel both likely candidates who will be running for president have another problem: age.
Honestly, I don't think any of them. There's a lot of things that these older generation are stuck in, and they're not letting way for the people who don't think like that.
Joe Dana, 12 News.
All right, Joe, thanks. Now,